We got the little babies here. Somebody just said their daughter's 10 years old. In 8 years, that kid's going to get out of high school. What's the world going to bring that child with? How are we going to prepare for that child when he comes out of high school in 8 years? Who's going to employ him? Us? Well, at the rate we're going, we're not employing. You're going to have to look at an Asian, a Caucasian, or an Arab, and I call them all Arabs. I don't know where they're from, but they're all Arabs. It's going to employ them. We're not employing ourselves. And one of the main impediments to black businesses succeeding, developing, and growing is access to capital. We don't have the access to capital that some of these other ethnic groups have. Other ethnic groups come and they practice our philosophy. Ujima, cooperative economics. They practice that. The Koreans come in, they practice cooperative economics. Before they get here, other than getting subsidies from the United States government, they save their money in Korea, 10 families, put their money together, send one over. Buy a bodega. That bodega gets running, they call for another family, buy another bodega. Now they own every bodega from, well not now, but back in the 80s, they owned every bodega in Harlem. And then they switched it over, they left, and the Arab came in and took the bodega. You don't even know when that switch occurred, because it was seamless. One day you went in, you handed your money to a Korean, the next day you handed it to an Arab. And it didn't dawn on you. Between 125th Street and 135th Street, there's 10 bodegas selling the same thing. Boston College, based on government money. The brothers got the water hose and the dogs sicked on them so that I could go to college. And I took that money that the government gave me, I went to a white university instead of turning around going to one of the historically black universities. Now what's happening? The historically black universities starving for cash. But yet they got all our best talent in the white universities. So these are all good business decisions on the part of somebody else. But in order to pull that good business decision off, they got to make you now trust yourself. This way, the membership fees coming in, if we got 1 million members that's paying $3 a month, how much is that a month? That's $3 million. They're building a Red Lobster up here on 125th Street. I asked the guy, how much does it cost to build that Red Lobster from first dirt out to first customer coming in? And he was telling me it cost about $11 million. So if we had 1 million $3 members, 3.5 months we can go to Red Lobster. Now Red Lobster's going to make millions of dollars a week. Now I ain't saying years. I'm saying that Red Lobster's going to make millions of dollars a week. Now the profit from that business goes back in for reinvestment.
And this brother now speaks 7 different languages, has written 70+ books. I want y'all to stand up for the young people. Stand up for the young brother. Stand up and give this brother a round of applause. His name is Brother Polite, also known as an appellation as Nasuk Amun Ray Sanatu Ray. Give him a round of applause. Brother Polite is in the building. New cabinet.
But here it is, a man had his own import and export. When blacks purportedly were being held back, he showed forth and proved despite the obstacles, despite the blockades. They ain't an excuse big enough. He still persevered. We don't get that part of the doctrine though. They don't tell us how to grow our own food or how to acquire land or how to set up our own schools. Somehow we was left with the religion. So Dr. York, they say, man, this brother says he's from Planet Riggs. That's the only thing they got from Dr. York. Dr. York owned both sides of the street for an 8-block stretch down Bushwick Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. He owned his own movie house. He gave our members both sides of the street to live on. There wasn't one person who lived on any one of those 8 blocks on both sides of the street that wasn't part of the community. But they'll tell you about Man from Planet Risk in a heartbeat, but they will not tell you that this man provided houses for 8 blocks down in a drug-infested community, so much so that Ed Koch, the former referee of boxing, had to give him an award because they stopped something that even the police couldn't do. The good and the righteous. We in the last days. All of this, we gonna get all black people to rise. That's crazy. All of this, black people is just corrupt because what white people are doing. Listen, there's something inside of all of us that gives us the ability to discern right from wrong. There ain't an excuse I got in the world for anything that I do wrong. We gonna be held accountable for our actions one way or another. We can pass the buck all we want, but that's not gonna get us out of the situation. That's clear as they living here in 2013, still seeing us in the same state we were in. Dropped off by great leadership. So it has to change. And the only way it's going to change is if we come up with an incentive to see to it who they shouldn't be with. But he don't know where he should be at to make money. He can read your palms and he can tell you that you don't belong in New York. You belong in California. But he can stay and live in the project as deep as he is with his Palmer Street. He got hands of his own, He ain't reading your shit without hands. Why he living poor like that? This is insane. But he burnt his fingerprints off? What's going on? Don't make sense. Let's go to the next one. And you say, you just be knocking people. I ain't knocking people. I ain't trying to say a name. I don't have to say a name. That's how deep this information is. It just targets you if you're full of it. So here it is, God's kingdom. Stairway to God's kingdom. According to dictionary definition or Macintosh dictionary application, sovereign means a supreme ruler, especially a monarch, royalty status. We was told that we weren't sovereign. Somebody told me that. Someone's making us afraid to be sovereign. So you don't want to do that. You don't say you're sovereign. So I'm trying to figure this out because I know sovereign means alluding to the royalty status of a king. You look it up in any dictionary. I don't know what other people say sovereign means. Look it up. A bloodline, a royal bloodline. It's in my genes to be sovereign. I am where I come from. And only way my ancestors were sovereign was because that consciousness, that status, filtered into their consciousness from the sovereign corporal creator. So I got black folks telling me, you can never be ruler, you can never be sovereign. You don't rule nothing. You can't tell. I'm not in that state of mind. That's why I have more than you. That's why I have more than you. That's why I could buy my wife here a Benz 3-4 weeks ago. That's why I could buy my wife here a drop top Mustang 3-4 weeks ago. That's why I could drive my 2013 that I bought in December, the end of December last year, 2012. You know why? I don't have limitations. I have no limitations. I ain't understand what you're talking about. The white man, I don't even understand that. I don't even know how long they can be. That's the same mind I'm in. That's good, bro. I don't even know how someone can be like me. I'm not there. I'm not there. I can't understand people trying to wrestle with me. I'm not letting it go. I can't be defeated. I can't let it go. I just can't shake it. I try to be a sucker like the rest of these brothers out here. I try to believe the white man is my devil. I don't have a devil. I haven't seen one yet that can stop me. I ain't seen one person that can take me off my path yet. So I want to shepherd. I'm telling you, you're not my boogeyman. You keep the boogeyman. I grew up a long time ago. I don't need a boogeyman. I'm 29 years old. I don't need a boogeyman. Every step of the way I go, somebody scheming on me. That's what you're telling me? I don't believe it. We ain't never going to succeed in America. I am. Well, watch what happens. You can hold your breath. You're going to die. Because at the end of the day, people don't realize it wouldn't matter if everything that I got, all my houses and everything, it wouldn't matter if it was all taken away. The purpose that I'm on this planet for is to build my character. That's it. So if I was to gain everything and lose it all, it wouldn't kill me. But imagine a person that never gained a thing. You see, I live in a world where racism exists. I live in a world where black belts exist, not just white ones. I live in a world where capitalism exists. I live in a world where there's tyrannical fascists in our midst. And despite all of that taking place, I still manage to transcend all of that and acquire my assets. See, we don't want to use this. You see, white man ain't going to follow that. this white man you talk about, this country you talk about, is a 501c3, not-for-profit organization, registered in a jurisdiction known by the misnomer of Delaware, with an executive branch in New York, legal fiction. So a corporation is known at law as a legal person. So you can see the word legal person there and think that you're talking about actual flesh and blood, but you're talking about paperwork. Let's go to the next one, and that's important. The birth certificate data. Because when you was born into this world, what happened? The state turned your information over to the Department of Commerce. This is true. They turned your information over, your existence over to the Department of Commerce, and they created a company out of your existence.
So you see, listen, he's the boss man, he is the boss. I gotta stand up and I know how it is, dog. I gotta stand up and go. All right,
So 97% of our money, when we get paid, they say how the money doesn't bounce in the black community. It bounces in other communities about 7 times. It doesn't bounce in the black community at all because we spend it before we get home. When we get paid, we start spending the money on the way home. We also don't have institutions in the community that the money can bounce in. So here's our concern. Everybody in this society, every community in this country, from the corporate community to other ethnic communities, every community is enriched by black spending except the black community. I'll never speak from but Malcolm said, he was talking about nonviolence. You all know that? And Malcolm said, you bark when the white man says bark. You fight when the white man says fight. And you bleed when the white man says you bleed. We can use that same analogy. See, you buy when the white man says buy. And you buy what the white man says buy. But when it comes time to spending and turning your dollars back into your own community, then you don't have any money. Then you have questions and reasons why you can't spend your money stabilizing your own community. You ever see people, black folks, coming to a restaurant, and black people would come to my restaurant as a group. There'd be maybe 5 or 6 people, and they're having lunch together, and the waitress will bring the check. When the waitress brings the check to a group of 5 or 6 black people in a black business, the group takes the check, they start scrutinizing it, they start checking what was this, double check the tax. You know you've seen that. Take that same group into a white restaurant. They bring the check, the person hands the waitress the card, and never even looks at the bill. Always trying to demonstrate to other people how rich we are and how prosperous we can make them. But when it's time to support your own, then you don't have any money. And so we continue to spend, and we are pleased with being trendsetters and engaged in activity that enriches everybody but us. We begin to talk to black folks about spending money in our own community. And black people come and either go to a black restaurant, and when they say, when the food comes, the end of the meal, folks say, you know, it was really good, but a little bit too salty. Other than that, and the iced tea was a little bit too sweet. Or the biscuits, one brother told me, the biscuits are cold as ice. Then you heat up the biscuits. I had a brother